Hey guys, Artosis here, bringing you another match from the Asian Championships. We had a very fast and furious one in game number 1. This is game number 2 of a best of 3 in match number 2 of Group C. We have Xuan, our 2-racks aggressor. I mentioned he cheeses every game I've seen, and definitely holds true there, but Bus was able to hold him. He got out a couple vultures, and that was that. I mean, you just have to leave the game at that point. You really have to snowball it before those vultures get out. So we're going to Gladiator now, while Bus does have that 1-0 lead. So on match point here, and we'll see what Xuan is going to go for. SCV already leaving his base, so it does look like we're going to have some more cheese going towards the center here. This is this is like becoming slightly meme-ish, I guess. Look at this. He does not even get there at 150 minerals. Excuse me. He gets there at about 200 minerals and then starts an SCV and the barracks. All right. Well, yeah, I mean, Xuan, he's continuing to just kind of cheese every single game. And we'll see if it works out here for him. So double barracks in the center. Once again, 4-player map. Bus goes ahead with his own barracks. Now, this map in general would be a little bit harder to hold because instead of going up a ramp to attack, you're going down a ramp. And that really, really, really makes all the difference in the world. Obviously you can see down the ramp and they can't see up. And then there's the missed chance percentage. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I still have a little cough left over from COVID. Very, very annoying to deal with. But anyways, I'm fine. Thank you for worrying about me. Anyways, Xuan going to send out an SCV here to help and to scout. This SCV going over to the left. And, yeah, I mean, I guess we just kind of wait and see. It seems like the way that Bus scouted, it's very likely he's going to scout his opponent last here. So that could make it a little bit hard. He'll probably find out about the Marine Rush as the Marines walk up to his base. Now, this SCV is just out of range of Bus seeing it. This SCV, let's see if he turns around as soon as he sees it. Okay, so Bus sees 2 SCVs. He should know exactly what's going on. He should be canceling things. He should be building a bunker. Like, there is not a universe in which 2 SCVs are out, especially from Xuan, where this is not occurring. This, like, 100%. And then he walks forward with the Marine. So this is not looking super good for Bus right now, losing that first Marine. I mean, he killed the SCV, which is good. You got to pull a lot of SCVs here, but you can always utilize this ramp. Going to be very tough here. Like, Xuan's rush looking a lot better this game. All right, get some shots up there. Did miss some because of some low ground tiles on the reverse map. Reverse ramp, rather. So many Marines here. Oh, my God. Honestly, like, this is about it. Like, he starts his Vulture. Okay, let's see. More SCVs coming from Xuan. He's getting some damage onto these Marines. A few of them are dying. Oh, God, he gets that bunker going once again. Absolutely fearful. And, oh, he's making a cage for the Vulture. Yeah, that Vulture's not going to be able to get out of there. Beautiful. Very, very well done from Xuan. And with the bunker up, that's it. GG. Tied up 1-1. Hey, guys. Artosis here, bringing you game number 3 of match 2 in Group C of BSL 15 Asian Championships. It's quite a mouthful. But we have Bus at 12 o'clock on Neo Sylphid, and down here in the bottom right, we have none other than Xuan. Okay, so far this series has been a little bit of... There's been a bit of apishness going on. Xuan has double center barracks twice. He continues to live up to everything I've said about him. Just cheeses pretty much every game. That's it. Now, does he do it a third time? No. He's not sending anything out. Okay. So, I mean, I'm down to see him do something that's not all in. I just don't know if that's what's going to happen. Like, really, if you look at the BSL 14 games, if you look at the game, like the first 2 games in this series, I don't know what he has range-wise that's not cheese. I literally don't know. I'm ready for it. Okay, we'll see. Bus, we haven't learned anything about him other than he didn't react when he saw 2 SCVs on the map. I tell you, if I see 2 SCVs on the map, early game TVT, I will cancel everything and make a bunker, man. You know what's coming. There's no reason to have 2 SCVs on the map otherwise. Anyways, Sean starts with his barracks in his main base. We'll see if he goes gas. I assume he's going to. Maybe it'll be like a 2 factory player or factory starport on 1 base. Not sure. If it's just a factory expand into macro, I'm going to be literally shocked. Over on Bus's side, just looks standard, normal stuff that you would expect to see from any Terran. Now, Sean is going to go up and scout him first. Bus is going to the center, so this is a nice thing about being a cheeser, right? Like, your opponent is not going to do good scout patterns, right? This is the buildable area in the center of the map. Whenever you see tiles like this in Brood War, these are never buildable, right? You're looking for just, like, grass, basically. So this is, like, the buildable area, and so he checks that, which, you know, slows his scout just slightly. It's not a huge deal on Neosylphid, but just in general, this is something that you're likely to see as he plays Juan more and more. So, doesn't find him at the first location. Going to go towards the second now. Both sides with the factories, and both sides not mining a bunch of additional gas. So, it looks like we're just going to have factory expands on both sides. That's not all in at all. Congrats, Juan. Alright, second Marine gets started. Well, let's just keep an eye and see if he makes a 3rd depot. It doesn't look like he's going to, so... making 2 Marines, completely fine. Completely fine. See 2 Marines over here. And Bus is actually going to add the 2nd factory. Okay. Now, as he gets the full scout off with this SCV, I think he'll feel fine about his double factory move. I think we do need to see a Vulture immediately, and it needs to be suicided to kill these 2 Marines. Because in a situation like this, where you go double factory, no add-on, generally what happens is you go Vultures into an armory. Oh, God, and the SCV is going to scout it. So this is the #1 thing you cannot have happen. Because as soon as you see this, a bunker goes down. And as soon as the bunker is down, the rush doesn't work. It looks like he cancels the armory, puts SCVs onto gas, and goes add-on. The thing is, you're supposed to just go add-on immediately after the bunker and get into your own siege tanks. Excuse me. So, I'm looking at this position, and with how late the gas is, because he had the SCVs off gas, this was meant to be a very mineral-heavy push. Tanks are going to be late. He's not going to be able to afford tank siege mode very quickly, right? Like, look, this is going to finish up. He's going to start another tank. He's going to be 100 gas out. That's another 20 seconds. Yeah, it's going to take 20 more seconds before he can start siege. And then it's only 2 tanks anyways. And then he can't make another tank out of here, right? Like, you got to look at this. If you stop mining gas at all, a rush like this doesn't do well. Okay, maybe it's just tank pressure. I don't know. We're going to see. Yeah, command center goes down, but it's a lot later than Xuan's. So, I like Xuan's position a bit more. Although, I do want to mention, this is not unplayable, what we see from Bus. Siege mode's a little bit odd. I don't like the position, but it's not unplayable, right? Like, your command center's later. You're going to be down in SCVs a certain amount. You have to never miss an SCV. Like, oh, he's supply blocked and has no depot on the way. Okay, starts another depot, but that's brutal, and that's unforgiving, because he's going to fall further and further behind. As long as Xuan is hitting his SCVs here, like, look at the difference. It's 4 right now. We'll see what it is. I mean, you miss 1 depot, that's 2 SCVs you can't make. All right, so the tanks actually come out for Xuan. Gets some decent damage there. Kills a Vulture. Gets decent damage on tank. A little bit of miss micro. You know, he was right here. This is like a little bit of a lip, and his SCV was kind of in the way. If he had microed a little bit better, I think he could have picked off a tank, which I think you'd like to do in this situation. Siege mode finishing up for Xuan. It is already done for Bus. And as the command center finishes, 25 SCVs to 34, right? So that's what we're looking at between the supply block plus the late command center. Production-wise, it's one factory going into 2. That's an academy there. Against 2 factory. So that's somewhat even. But yeah, the SCV advantage of 9 is pretty substantial here, right? That's a big deal. So Xuan definitely has that as his advantage. This is kind of like a funny little denying this third base kind of location. This is a powerful place to siege. Obviously, there's potential for Xuan to move around it, but his production just isn't there yet, right? He's adding his armory, he does have that second factory add-on coming as well, throwing down another factory. But it will be a little bit before he really has the unit count he needs to get out there and get something done. Oh my god. Oh, at least he doesn't get that last one. A lot of damaged ones in here, so not perfectly executed, but maintains a big lead here. 8 SCVs. Now, this siege that he's like moving up, like Bus Terran is doing here, the map is not super wide, but this is very, very early to try to set up a full containment. And if your opponent does something to break it, you don't really have the unit count to do much against it. So, yeah, I mean, I definitely see players play like this. I just wonder if it's going to work for Bus. Okay, that's fantastic. Uses that barracks range. You know, tanks can shoot further than they can see. Uses that to splatter that one tank. The barracks not being moved over in time to save it. Oh, is he going to get his vision? Well, that's another very strong pickoff, and now he's going to lose another one. Okay, Bus is just wrecking right now. Xuan did not get the type of spotting that he really needed here. And now look at these tank counts. Oh my god, just way advantaged for Bus. Okay, but the SCVs come out. By the way, this game now longer than the first 2 games put together. Just want to throw that out there. Okay, Xuan has lost like 5 tanks, I want to say, to his opponent just floating barracks and moving tanks up. So, kind of tough position for him. He pulls back into a very defensive spot. Using a scan here just to check what's there and how much is there as well. He's gone up to 5 factories now. Bus looks like he wants to continue to push. By the way, he's up in workers now. So that's kind of a big deal. Let's take a look at his production. My god, he was still on 2 factories. He just finished a 3rd. There's a 4th on the way. So just the constant production from Bus looking very, very strong. He's actually down in supply technically here, as you see, but a lot of it's Vulture, right? It's no longer in the SCV count. A lot of it is the Vultures coming out. And those are very supply heavy. They build very quickly. So even though he's up in supply, that doesn't mean he just breaks out of here easily. This is actually like a very interesting placement. I think this is going to go pretty well for Bus, to be honest. So that was a bit sloppy. He did not get everything to move at once, so a bunch of tanks die before they really even shoot. Some very good mines being laid up here. Okay, great mine connection. Great mine connection. And he is going to bust out, and actually went, according to how it started, it went better than I thought it would. But look at the supply difference here now. Bus is up 11 workers, and they're even in supply overall. He's got siege tanks being produced. He's going to spread them. He's got a Goliath here. These can help to gun down mines and vultures so that you can't go offensive with them. And, well, no +1 started here yet. Xuan does have his halfway done. You know what? I got to say it. Like, I think that Bus has done all right here. But I think Xuan actually has a little bit better position. He's got better factory production. He's got Vultures active, +1 halfway done, so he can go into +2 quickly. He pushed everything back, broke a lot of tanks, and has put all that on top of his production. I think it's looking pretty good for him. And he didn't cheese this game. Maybe we should be trying more of this. All right, 5th and 6th factory coming out after he starts the command center. So this shows us Bus's like real intentions here, right? Like he wants to field a huge army. I think he knows that it's likely he's going to get contained. And you want to make sure that if your opponent's going to be trying to contain you, that you have some sort of plan to get out. And there's like 3 plans that can occur. 1, make a ton of units and just break through somewhere. Number 2, you make lanes. Like, for instance, you bring a lot of tanks over here and siege them so that you have this part of the map to work with. So you're not fully contained, right? And the other one is to make dropships and prey. So, looks like he's going the macro approach. Chuan coming up and trying to break through here. I don't know that this is needed all that much, but he does push him back a little bit. This area not as important, honestly. Like I mentioned, like making a lane out this way would probably be very, very smart for Bus, considering this is a mineral-only base, and this base is too close to his opponent, so you can't probably take that. Whereas there are more gas bases here. Here's a gas base, and of course this other main area, this one. So yeah, this area is probably the most valuable area right now. All right, let's take a look over at Chuan. He's actually not making another command center. He's just fielding units at the moment. Trying to get out here and make something happen. His Vulture's fighting reasonably well on this side, eliminating a lot of Bus's Vultures, but Bus has 3 bases. He has 3 gases. Now, these middle bases don't have as many minerals or gas, so they don't last that long. But, I mean, obviously, it's way better than not having the additional base. You're going to be able to produce a lot more. You can see he's already on 3 factory. He does have his +1 almost done. He does have a dropship and a Wraith. Would love to see that science facility. Science facility does get started here for Chuan, who's actually had +1 for a while. And here we are. Okay, this is exactly what I wanted to see from Bus. Very, very smart plays. Just look at this. He's laying some mines. He's sieging up a couple Goliaths in there, so, you know, Wraiths can't harass. If Vultures run up, the Goliaths do a good job against them. But just creating some sort of lane here where he has a way to move his army through this part of the map. That's big. That's like one of the biggest things in TVT. Now he's got a very strong siege line here, just sitting quite defensively. Vulture drop going towards the main. Chuan is only on 52 SCVs against the 62 of Bus. So this actually could be really devastating. Like 52 is not that many. You can easily get 80 SCVs in this matchup and be happy. So he does kill off quite a few so far. Down to 46, laying some mines as well. Very annoying stuff for Chuan to deal with. Obviously, it's not like game ending, but very, very good move from Bus. All right, so Chuan is taking this 3rd. That's very good. He's got a good amount of siege tanks here. The way that he's set up, this would be a smart base to take really quickly as well. But his SCV count's not that good, so his income is not really as strong as he would want it to be. 4th command center finishing up, and the scan goes down. He sees that. I keep seeing all this blue on the minimap, but honestly, none of this is that impactful right now. Sometimes this comes into play later on. Some scans going down by Bus, trying to figure out where bases are. 2 random siege tanks making their way up here. Not going to find anything, though. This is actually a really smart siege location. If he can deny this base from ever being taken by Bus, that's big. On a 3-player map in TVT, whoever ends up getting the other main base area oftentimes ends up being the winner, at least in longer games. Obviously, you have games that are going to end a lot quicker because they just kill each other. But yeah, this is a great foothold that Chuan will want at some point here. So Bus moving down. This feels a little bit like an overextension. Sorry I'm zooming out so much. I actually really like watching TVT like this. Right? I've heard a lot of people say that TVT is a lot like Go, for instance. You're seeing all these lines being made and trying to take over more of the map. It really actually helps if you look at these types of siege lines, right? So here's Chuan. That's the majority of his army. But here's Bus. He's got a group here, a couple way back here, which I guess are semi-defending against any movement up here, and then he's got this really forward group. If Chuan takes all this And all this, and attack moves here, he just destroys this, and he can move into this area, and he'll be so far ahead, I don't think there's any possibility to come back. Obviously, I can see everything. It's easy to see that this is a weakness from Bus. We'll see if Jean-Jean can find it. Okay, taking a look over here. Double Armory, 2-1 on the way, very nice. Ooh, 4 dropships. A little bit of anti-drop here, so maybe Jean-Jean will be okay. Jean-Jean. Okay, looks like he wants to take another base here. Kind of annoying. There are a couple vultures up there he's got to deal with. All right, the drop's coming. Oh, he might be going for a bust. Yeah, he's going to utilize this to bust. This isn't done as often, but you definitely can just bomb onto the siege tanks. And look at that. Drops even into the mines there. Eats a big one. But as the attack moves out as well, he will break this part of the containment. That is a big moment. Now, the units coming up to reinforce are actually being partially picked off by this forward group. So that is painful indeed. Jean-Jean comes up and sieges as his push comes down. He has to make sure that this base is not infiltrated. That would be pretty much game over. Bus has taken a pretty substantial supply lead now. It shouldn't be really much of a surprise considering how many bases Bus has been able to take. Going up to that 4th add-on. Always interesting to see how many add-ons people want for their siege tank production. And look at this amount of dropships. Oh my god. Dude, there's 1 tank and 3 turrets. This can be game-ending, actually. Especially if he has +2. +2 is on Jean-Jean, and yeah, +2 as well here for a Bus. How do you break that? This many +2 siege tanks and all these Goliaths in there? He's going to lose a lot here. Jean-Jean is in so much trouble at the moment. He's trying to bring units back, but he GG's. Bus moves on to the winter match.